Good morning, students. I'm Mr. Evans Ulise, and we are going to be discussing biology this morning. And our topic is still on the circulatory system. Don't forget, we began the circulatory system last week, and we said that the circulatory system comprises of the blood vessels, the heart, the blood vessels, which is the arteries, the veins, the capillaries. The blood vessels, of course, we said that they are the channels, okay, in which blood passes through, okay, now, or in which blood is being transported. And we now talk about I said the blood vessels, and the heart, which is the only organ for circulation. The heart, which is the only organ for circulation. Okay. Now, remember we discussed. Let's go back. We discussed on this, and we said that the circulatory system or circulation is what aids the transportation of digested food, nutrients, and blood in the body. Circulatory system or circulation is the process by which digested food and nutrients and blood is transported in the body. Okay, let me take it again. I said circulation is the process by which nutrients, okay, blood, digested food are transported in the body. When you eat your food, when it's being digested, is the circulatory system. Is the what? Circulatory system that aids or helps the digested food to be transported around the body. It also helps blood to be transported around the body. And we talked of two types of circulation. We said open circulation and closed circulation. And we said closed circulation has to do with transporting blood from the heart. Of course, the heart pumps the blood. Transporting blood from the heart through closed vessels. Okay? There are vessels that conduct the transportation of the blood, and those vessels we say veins, arteries, and so on. So these vessels conduct the transportation of the blood. Okay, but in the open circulation, there are no vessels to conduct the transportation of the blood. There are no vessels to channel, to conduct the channeling of the blood. Blood circulates into every body cavity, into every open and pores, into every openings and pores. Okay, so that is that. And I gave you some assignments. I said go and discuss the stages in circulation, discuss differences between closed circulation and open circulation. I want to believe, anyway, I've seen some of your assignments. They have been coming, and most of you did very well. But I want to say this: don't just do the assignment. Please take your time to read it. Okay, study the assignment very well. It's going to help you. All right. Okay. So we are going to continue with the circulatory system. Circulatory system is a very large topic, that we cannot deal it all at once in this level. When you progress, you will keep seeing more and more new stuffs in the circulatory system, okay? But for now, what we can do is to let's look at our specific objective and know what we want to target at this lesson. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define circulatory diseases. All right. So we want to lay our emphasis and focus on circulatory diseases. Remember, when we were treating respiratory system, we also looked at respiratory diseases. We looked at causes of respiratory diseases, effect of respiratory diseases, and treatment of respiratory diseases. So the same thing is going to be applicable here. Circulatory diseases, define circulatory diseases, where you should be able to state the causes of, circulatory disease here, state the causes of circulatory diseases. What causes the circulatory diseases? Okay? What causes the circulatory diseases? Diseases that affect the circulatory system. That's what we are talking about here. Now we are going to state the effects. When this diseases comes upon a man or comes upon an organism, which is a human being, what does it affect to? What are the effects? What are the damages? Okay? Okay? What is the result? That is what we are talking about when we come to the effect of circulatory diseases. So now we are going to look at stating the treatment of these circulatory diseases. How can it be prevented? How can it be handled? How can it be treated? What's the solution when one has had the diseases? How can you treat yourself? Okay, these are what we are going to achieve at the end of this lecture. All right, let's get into it. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, circulatory diseases, very simple. Of course, before we look at the definition of circulatory diseases, don't forget, when you hear the word circulation or circulatory system, the first thing that should come to your mind is the heart. The first thing that should come to your mind is what? The heart. Why? Because the heart is the only organ. Lay it in your heart. The heart is the only organ for circulation. Okay? Now, and the second thing that should come to your mind after the heart is the blood. The blood. The blood, which is the major agent, or which is the major stuff that is undergoing circulation. If the blood is not being circulated around our body, we can't survive. We can't do what? Survive. Okay? We need to have blood flowing around our body 24/7. All right. So the next thing that should come to your mind is the blood vessels. Rather, I said the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. These are things that are put together. Okay, that gives rise to the circulatory system. These are components that makes up the circulatory system. Major components that makes up the circulatory system: the heart, the blood vessels. So when you hear the word circulatory system, these are the three major things that you should look out for at this level. Okay, let's look at it. Circulatory diseases. The circulatory diseases, also called the cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular diseases. So when I ask you another name for circulatory diseases, you should be able to tell me the cardiovascular diseases. That is disease of the heart. From the word cardio. When you hear the word cardio, is referring to the heart. So the cardiovascular diseases are diseases which affect the heart or blood vessels. So the definition is as simple as ABC. You don't need to think about it. When you hear the word circulatory diseases, simple. These are diseases that affect the heart or the blood vessels. These are diseases that affect the heart or the blood vessels. When I ask you now diseases that affect the heart, you should be able to tell me. Good. Somebody say heart attack. That is a very nice one. Heart attack. You've been hearing somebody say, I have heart attack. Heart attack. There are some stuffs that caused the heart attack. So that's why we're going to be looking at causes of circulatory diseases. Okay? Heart attack. If I begin to ask now, oh good, somebody say high blood pressure. Very good. Beautiful, beautiful. That's why I love this class. I have good thinkers in this class. High blood pressure. High blood pressure. These are examples of circulatory diseases. Okay, so I want to believe that you've understood the simple definition. I had to water the definition down so that you can be able to assimilate and get it right. Okay, so these are diseases that affect the heart and the blood vessels. And when I ask you the blood vessels, you should be able to tell me the arteries, the veins, the capillaries, and so on. Are we good? Are we good? Beautiful. All right. Okay. Nice one. Yeah. Causes of circulatory diseases. Wow. What are these things that cause the circulatory diseases? What are these things that cause the circulatory diseases? Do the circulatory diseases just come up from nowhere? All of a sudden you just say, you get to the hospital and the doctor say, come on, what is disturbing you is as a result of, doctor will just say you are suffering from one very big name. Oh, mekapalotosu. Stop laughing. You know, when you get to the hospital, you're going to hear some big names of some diseases. And you now ask the doctor, sir, what does that mean? He's not going to break it down for you. You say, these are diseases that disturbs or affect the circulatory system as a result of maybe atherosclerosis, smoking, unhealthy diet, lack of exercises, obesity. These are some of the causes of circulatory disease. These stuffs listed here right now, they give rise to circulatory diseases. Atherosclerosis. What does it mean? This is the thickening of the artery walls. The thickening of the what? Artery walls. Remember, the arteries is one of the blood vessels. Don't forget, we defined circulatory disease as disease that affect the heart and the blood vessels. That affect the heart and the blood vessels. So this causes, so any cause of circulatory diseases, of course, give rise to the effect or affect in the heart or the blood vessels. Are we together? It affected the heart or the blood vessels. That's what gives rise to circulatory disease. So I said the atherosclerosis, pronounce it after me. Atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis. Be fast about the pronunciation. Atherosclerosis. Good. Now, this is the thickening of the artery walls. Artery walls, of course, you know, is one of the blood vessels. This gives rise to circulatory diseases. This is your assignment. So that's why I don't want to discuss much on it, because you are going to discuss. Now, I don't want to see, even if you are in the same house, even if you have two brothers in the same house, or two siblings in the same house, in the same class, I don't want you guys to write the same thing for me in your assignment, just as you did to the previous assignment. So there is an assignment for you on these causes of circulatory diseases, to discuss them, and you're going to give it to me in different languages, in your own understanding. All right. Now, the second one is smoking. Remember, we've talked about atherosclerosis, and we are now talking about what? Smoking. What then is smoking? You know, we said that atherosclerosis is the thickening of the what? Of the artery walls. What gives rise to the thickening of that artery walls? Simple. Fat. Build up of fat. Build up of fat. Now, of course, you know what is fat. When you have build up of fat, of course, are fat people thick? Fat people are thick. So when you have the buildup of fat along the artery walls, it makes the artery walls thicker. That's why I said the thickening of the artery walls. Now, smoking causes the thickening of the thickening of blood in the veins. The thickening of blood in the veins. The thickening of blood in the veins. All right? The thickening of blood in the veins. Now, let's look at unhealthy diet. Now, can you see that atherosclerosis is a disease that gives rise because of an effect in the artery walls? Smoking because of an effect in the veins, thickening of blood in the veins, thereby forming clot. Clot is like a mold of blood, a block of blood that is in the form of a mold. That's what we call clot. It has clotted a thick blood. So thickening of blood in the veins is as a result of smoking, and this causes circulatory diseases. I don't know if you understand, if you are following me. Atherosclerosis, number one, and I said is as a result of fat in the artery walls, thereby thickening the artery walls. Number two, I said smoking is as a result of thickening the blood in the veins, thereby forming clot, C-L-O-T, which is as a result of a clump or mold of blood in the veins. Now, unhealthy diet, all these causes, all this makes circulation difficult. Atherosclerosis, the result of fat in the artery walls. You see the veins, the arteries, and so on. These are vessels that conduct the transport of blood. Of course, you know, we've said that before. especially in the closed circulation. We said blood is transported through blood vessels. The blood vessels are veins and arteries. So you can see when there is fat in the arteries, that gives rise to atherosclerosis. You find out that transporting blood through the veins become difficult because there is fat blocking the veins. So circulation becomes difficult, and this now gives rise to circulatory diseases. Smoking, the same thing. Thickening of blood in the veins. This also is like a clump, a mold of blood just there in the veins. So this also causes either slow rate in circulation or difficulty in circulation. Now, unhealthy diet too is another cause of circulatory disease. Unhealthy diet. You know, don't forget, we said that circulation is a process whereby digested food, blood, nutrients are transported around the body. Now, unhealthy food or unhealthy diet, these are diets that either is under-nutritional or over-nutritional. Get it right. When we talk about unhealthy diet, it is not a nutritional diet. It is not a nutritional food. A nutritional food is a food that contains what? They have the 6 classes of food in their right proportion. Get it right. Not just containing the 6 classes of food: carbohydrate, protein, fat and oil, vitamins, mineral salt, water, and that. Now, nutrition is not just nutrition, or balanced diet is not just containing the 6 classes of food in quotes, but you add, if you write it for me, balanced diet is a food that contains the 6 classes of food, you will not have a full mark. But you say in its right proportion, in its right percentage. Okay, in its right what? Proportion. So if you are eating if your food contains 6 classes of food but not in its right proportion, it's not a balanced diet. So when you take unhealthy diet, either a diet that is under-nutritional, not up to the nutritional base, or over-nutritional, excess, then digestion becomes difficult. And as such, circulation also becomes difficult. Okay? Because digestion is related to circulation. Because circulation, we have defined it over and over since last week, that it is the transport of digested food, not undigested, digested food, blood, nutrients in the body, the movement. So unhealthy food Of course, unhealthy food are even dangerous to the body. Why? Because they are not balanced diet in its right proportion. Therefore, it's unhealthy. Or they are not the food that the body rightly deserves. Therefore, it is unhealthy. So when we take that food, instead of being nutritious to our body, it becomes a damage to our body. And as such, digestion is difficult, circulation is also difficult. And unhealthy diet, they have the tendency of affecting the blood vessels in the body. Okay? Now, we now come to lack of exercises. I don't know if sometimes you see that your mom will tell you to exercise, or maybe in school. You know, in school we used to do sports. You know, we do sports. On Wednesdays we do sports. Now, the essence of that sport is for us to be able to carry out exercises to keep our body fit, not just our external body like our structure, but even our what? Our inner being, our inner system, to keep it fit. Okay? Now, you find out that sometimes they tell you, exercise so that your system will be active and so on. Now, while you are exercising helps circulation. Exercising helps what? Circulation. Exercising helps the blood to circulate. It keeps us fit. Okay? It helps the blood pump. So in reverse, lack of exercising, thus what? When someone is just there, is not exercising, you find out that you are causing damage to yourself. That's why they keep telling you, you should always exercise. That's why in JSS2 schools we exercise. Lack of exercise cause either slow circulation, or it gives rise to circulatory diseases. Because when you are not exercising, I tell you the truth, you are causing damage to your system. You are doing what? Causing damage to your system. What system? The circulatory system. We have a lot of systems in the body. Circulatory system, digestive system, respiratory system, and so on and so forth. Reproductive system. So lack of exercises causes damage to your system. Obesity. Remember, obesity, what is obesity? What does it mean? People that are extremely fat. Number 4 and number 5 is relative. You know, people that are extremely fat, they find it difficult to exercise. And you find out that the damage that results in lack of exercise also is applicable to the obese ones, because the obese ones, they don't carry out exercise too. Now, this is the little I'm going to talk on causes of circulatory diseases, because it's your assignment. I want you to, at the end of it all, you are going to see where I said you should look at it. Discuss on how the following cause circulatory diseases. Discuss on how the following cause circulatory diseases. And I talked about atherosclerosis, smoking, unbalanced diet, obesity, lack of exercise. You can see that is your assignment. So please, when I say discuss, I'm not saying you should write 1 line, 2 lines for me. Discuss means talk about it extensively. You come to number 1, you talk about it. You come to number 2, you talk about it. Okay, that's your assignment. So let's go back to our work. Okay, so I've said the little I can say on causes of circulatory diseases. Now let's go to effect of circulatory diseases. What does this mean? What does this mean? It means that when this circulatory diseases has come, what effects does it have on the individual? Number 1 is heart failure. Number 1 is what? Heart failure. This is a condition where the heart does not pump sufficient blood that it ought to. Of course, you know the heart pumps blood. It's the only organ of circulation. It pumps blood. So a situation whereby the heart does not pump the sufficient amount of blood it ought to pump. It's just like when you are driving a car, and of course you know that the brake is for what? Is for holding the car. Is for putting the car on hold when it's in motion. Okay? And once, for instance, you are driving and they said the brake has failed. What does it mean? It means that it is not working the duty that it ought to work. It's not carried out the duty that it ought to what? Carry. Are we together? It's a brake failure. So you are pumping the brake refuses to give you the what? The reply. So heart failure here is a situation whereby the heart fails to pump sufficient amount of what? Of blood. Now let's look at high blood pressure. This is the force of blood against the artery walls. The force of blood against the artery walls, the pressure of blood against the artery walls, it gives rise to high blood pressure. Where there is a force of blood against the walls of the arteries. Of course, you know the arteries is a blood vessel, and when there is a pressure, blood pressure, blood from the name high blood pressure, when there is a blood pressure, a force of blood against the arteries walls, we say that is high blood pressure, and is is one of the circulatory diseases. One of the circulatory diseases. Now we also have stroke. Stroke is as a result of a damage of the brain. Is a damage of the brain as a result of the interruption of blood flow. That's what gives rise to stroke. So I've said, okay, let me hear you. What did I say? Number one, heart failure. What is heart failure? Can I hear you? Now, what is high blood pressure? Then what is stroke? Now, we also have what is called cardiac ischemia. Cardiac ischemia. These are effects of circulatory diseases. This is as a result of the damage of the damage or diseases in the blood vessels. The damage or diseases in the blood vessels. I'm taking it very slowly so that you can get it, so that if you are jotting, you can jot. The damage or diseases in the blood vessels. You know, this effect of circulatory diseases is just for you to know them. We are not supposed to talk more on them. It's just for you to know that these are what results from circulatory diseases. Okay? So we also have angina pectoris. Angina pectoris. This is the pain in the shoulder, in the chest, and different parts of the body as a result of inadequate flow of blood. Inadequate flow of blood. Sometimes you can feel pain in your heart. You say you're having heart pain. Heart pain. Some people say my chest is paining me. Heart pain is as a result of inadequate flow of blood. No sufficient blood is flown in that direction. That's why you're having the heart pain. Then you also have that. Of course, we know what that is. So if all these effects of circulatory diseases, if all of this is not managed properly, the person can end up dead. Treatment of circulatory diseases. Number one, exercising. Remember, we said that one major cause of circulatory disease is what? Lack of exercising. So what can be the treatment? What can be the treatment? What can be the remedy? Exercising. Since we say that lack of exercise is not causes circulatory disease, so exercising. Medications. Being on medications. When you have circulatory disease, you are being given some medications we refer to as drugs and so on and so forth prescribed by the doctor. Then surgery, when it's in the extreme case, when the case is so extreme, when the case has gotten beyond, the doctor will advise that the patient needs surgery. Okay? The patient needs to undergo surgery. Now, from this course of circulatory diseases, these causes, you can see that smoking is one of the causes. So to prevent circulatory diseases, you should avoid smoking. To prevent circulatory diseases, you need to always be on balanced diet. And we say exercising and so on and so forth. Okay, so thanks and stay safe. So I have given you an assignment, discuss on how the following cause circulatory diseases. How does this cause circulatory diseases? That's what I'm asking from you. How can they cause circulatory diseases? Discuss. Tell me. Put it down on your note and send it across to me on the same platform on my WhatsApp number. Alright? Till we see you again on Wednesday. On Wednesday we're not going to discuss anything new. We're just going to recap on all we've done so far, starting from nervous system, down to respiration, down to I think circulation, right? And so on and so forth. So we are going to discuss on all what we've done so far. All right. Thank you. We'll see you on Wednesday.